Checking in with Quincy City Clerk Nicole Crispo for an update of the latest Board of License Commissioners meeting. And also we'll chat a little bit about the upcoming state elections. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Great to see you. Thanks for spending some time to chat with us about the July 26th Board of License Commissioners meeting, right?
Yes. So we did have Detective Paul Brown sitting in for Police Chief Keenan yesterday. And other than that, there was a full board in attendance. Agenda item number 1 was hearing regarding the request of the City of Quincy for a special use permit 1-day liquor license for a multicultural folk festival kickoff featuring Ronan Tynan at 6 p.m. on Saturday, August 6th on the Hancock Adams Common. John McDonald from the City of Quincy is promoting this event and was unavailable to be in attendance yesterday, but we did already permit for Sunday, and we're just adding Saturday for the Ronan Tynan kickoff. That being said, we also added requested by the Quincy Chamber of Commerce to extend the hours at the Beer Garden at Kilroy Square on the same night, August 6th to 11 p.m. Ronan Tynan is going to then go down to the Beer Garden, do a big meet and greet, maybe sign some autographs and things like that. So they wanted to extend the hours down there for that event. So 2 votes were taken, one for the City of Quincy special use permit for the multicultural folk festival kickoff. And that starts at 6 p.m. and goes to 8 p.m. And then with the hopes of everybody kind of heading down Quincy Center, the Quincy Chamber of Commerce thought it would be a good idea to keep the Beer Garden open and have a meet and greet with Ronan down there. And so the first vote was taken for the special use permit for the 1 day for the Hancock Adams Common, which went through 5-0. Also, then the extension of hours at the Beer Garden for Kilroy Square till 11 p.m. and that went through 5-0 as well.
Okay, it's been a very happening place this summer down there.
It's going to be a great event for the city, for sure, for all the restaurants down there and so on. So agenda item number 2 was hearing regarding the request of Prestige Car Wash for a gasoline and repair license for the premise located at 635 Washington Street due to a change of ownership, currently All in One Automotive. Proposed manager Ken Calabro. Proposed hours of operation 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Caitlin Healy was there. She works for Prestige Car Wash and does all their licensing things. And there's no change of services, just a change of management and ownership. And that also went through 5-0.
Very good.
Agenda item number 3 was continued from June 21st. It was the hearing regarding the request of Off the Hook Bar and Grill, LLC, doing business as Off the Hook Bar and Grill. John Galligan, manager, for an alteration of licensed premise at 1269 C Street to reflect outdoor dining and patio areas of 1,625 square feet, which includes an addition of a new walk-up bar with 4 seats. The outdoor area accommodates seating for 44. Excuse me. Attorney Robert Fleming was there, as well as John Galligan. And for the record, the board received the following items of correspondence on this: a summary of proposed use of the outdoor space from Mr. Galligan, which he and his attorney reviewed and talked about in person yesterday. Correspondence between direct abutters and Councilor McCarthy regarding abutters' concerns on the placement of the dumpster. Councilor McCarthy understands the abutters' concerns and is hopeful that the issues can be resolved in such a manner to move forward with everyone's concerns being addressed. A letter of opposition from the owner at 1259 C Street, and 23 letters of support, including one from Councilor at Large Nolde Bona. And then we asked Attorney Fleming and Mr. Galligan to come up and talk about what they plan on doing there. So first, I guess we can talk about the space of 1,625 square feet. When Mr. Galligan's outside patio was approved, the applicant submitted an application with an error in the amount of square footage. They put 300, which was one side, the street side, and they didn't add in the other side, which accommodates the more seating and the small bar at this point. So therefore, we wanted them to come back in so that they had it right on the record. And that's when, people got more concerned, neighbors, rightfully so. And so we wanted to give them an opportunity to come and speak. We had this on for June 21st. There was a death in one of the direct abutters' families, so we moved it to yesterday. That being said, we listened to Attorney Fleming and John, what their plans are for Louise. Then we certainly heard from neighbors in opposition, and we heard from people that are in favor. At that point, Director Duca said he didn't feel comfortable really voting on it yesterday because there were some issues with where the dumpster is and how many feet it needs to be off the abutter's property and things like that. And he was hearing the concerns and thinks that there's still some more work to be done. Commissioner Castley agreed with that. And so therefore, I suggested that we move it to the next hearing to deal with the neighbors' concerns. And since the Director Duca and Commissioner Castley were not comfortable voting today, that we put it to the August 16th meeting. And John Galligan is working on that those areas are opened with a temporary extension of premise now. So I had suggested that he does 5 different dates of the outside bar open and see how it goes, see how the neighbors feel. We can get some more feedback when they come back on August 16th. So continued without prejudice and to the next date.
Okay, and was it agreed for those 5 dates, Nikki?
The dates are going to go through the temporary extension of premise process.
Okay.
So he'll get 1 day for those as well.
Does he have to come back for those or
He doesn't. He can do them through the temporary extension of premise.
Okay.
Through the inspectional services department. What happens, that is a, you put your data into a database and it comes out to all the board members and also the traffic alarm and lighting. So everybody has to check, make sure that those dates are okay.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
so it goes to all the board members and the traffic alarm and parking.
Okay, and the date, he selects the dates?
He does, yeah. And as long as there's no conflict, he should be fine.
Okay,
the 5 dates.
okay, very good.
Okay.
Good explanation. Thanks for that, Nikki. Yeah,
Yeah, that was long, right?
yeah, that's okay though. It's good. I understand it now.
Yeah. So we'll hear it again on August 16th, and hopefully, the neighbors and John can work it out. That's what we want first and foremost.
Sure.
Certainly, that was relayed through Council McCarthy's message. He was
Okay,
unable to attend.
gotcha.
So that went through 5-0. Agenda item number 4 was hearing regarding the request of Quincy Hotel Operating Company LLC doing business as the Quincy Marriott at 1000 Marriott Drive for a transfer of their in-holder all alcohol beverage license presently held by CP Quincy LLC, a new pledge of license to SM Finance LLC, and a hotel management agreement with Crescent Hotels Management Service LLC, proposed manager Kimberly Green, alcohol service from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. Attorney Corey Wilk was there, as well as Kimberly Green, to just go over the transfer of the alcohol, the pledge of to SM Finance, and the new management and the new manager. And it's just basically some paperwork that needed to be done for a sale at the Quincy Marriott.
All righty, sounds pretty routine.
Yeah, so 3 different votes, and they all went through 5-0.
Will it still be known as the Marriott, do you know? Or
It will.
It will, okay.
Yeah. Yes. Agenda item number 5 here regarding the request of Shabu Shabu One Inc. doing business as Hot Pot for an all alcohol beverage restaurant license for the premise located at 7 Billings Road. Proposed manager was Ming Jing. Proposed premise is a 4,000 square foot of restaurant space on 2 levels. Proposed hours of operating are 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sundays starting at 10 a.m. Attorney Ed Fleming was there and spoke on behalf of Shabu Shabu One doing business as Hot Pot One. This is for all this is the space that used to be Walsh's
Oh, okay.
in North Quincy. And so there is some parking across the street for 13 spaces. There is some municipal parking down the street. They also, are going to ask their employees to ride share, to use the MBTA, which is the North Quincy Red Line station right there. And this was advertised. Abutters were notified as required by the ABCC. Items also received was a zoning board of approval, ZBA 22-26. Board members had a copy of that in their packet. This is a big restaurant, and did get ZBA approval. And so that went through 5-0 as well.
Okay, very good. A new restaurant for the Downs area, right?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Which is was a restaurant forever, then went to an architectural firm, and now going back to a restaurant. So
Very good.
yes. Agenda item number 6 was hearing regarding the request of S&G Restaurant doing business as South Garden Seafood for a change of corporate name from Honey Cafe Inc., offices and directors, and ownership interest for the premise located at 217B Quincy Ave. Proposed manager Y. Round and attorney Gar Ching. So Gar Ching was there for a little bit, but was unable to stay. So Y. Rao spoke on the S&G Restaurant Company doing business as South Garden Seafood, The items were advertised as required by the ABCC, and no one was there to speak in opposition or in favor. So that went through 5-0. Commissioner Castley did say to the two new restaurants on to make sure that they contact him before opening. And that went through 5-0. Agenda item number 7 was a hearing regarding the request of the Quincy Lodge of Elks at 254 Quarry Street for a change of manager from Patrick McGettrick to John P. Connor, in exchange of offices and directors. Frank Bertoni and John P. Connor were there. Everything, the application was in order, and John P. Connor said everything is going to stay the same, status quo up there at the Quincy Elks, and that also went through 5-0.
Okay, everybody was in a unanimous mood.
Yes. In other business, update on previously approved application for Ina's Bar and Lounge at 609 Washington Street. The roof deck on the original plan has been eliminated. Modification is as a result of a zoning board process, ZBA 22-27. Revised application will be submitted to the ABCC. The board members have a copy of the decision and will forward the new revised application to the ABCC as requested.
Okay.
And we made a motion to accept the minutes from the hearing on June 21st and waive the reading. Our next hearing will be August 16th. And that was the end of the meeting.
Okay, very good. So just one meeting in July?
One meeting in July and one meeting in August.
Gotcha. Okay. Summer schedule. Yep.
Yes.
Which is a good thing because I'm sure the upcoming election is taking a lot of your time, Nikki.
It is. So everyone should have received their do you want to vote by mail postcard by now? And so we're processing them as they come in. And we should get our first onslaught of ballots out in the mail by next Wednesday.
Okay.
So that's for about 3,000 to 3,500 applicants for the first wave. And so just to hit on some dates that I want people to be aware of. The last day to register to vote under the new Vote Act of 2022 is August 27th at 5 p.m., which is a Saturday. City Hall will be open from 8:30 to 5 p.m. for anyone who wishes to register to vote. That being said, it's also the first day of in-person early voting at North Quincy High School. We're going to be there from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you wish to come there to register to vote, we'll have voter registrations there you can also vote there in person. And we'll be there Sunday as well at North Quincy High School for people to vote in person for the September 6th primary. Then on August 29th through September 2nd, we'll be at City Hall 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday for in-person early voting.
Okay.
Okay.
In the clerk's office.
In the clerk's office. Also, last day to absentee vote will be the day before the election, September. Oh, wait, that's the holiday. It will be Friday, the 2nd at noon. So
Again,
right. It's usually the day before the election, but where there's a holiday that day, it's going to be the Friday before So there are some opportunities for people. We're hoping that, it meets everybody's needs, that you can go to North Quincy High on the weekend, 8:30 to 2:30 and vote there, or you can come here to City Hall. You can use your vote by mail application, or you can go to the polls on election day. All polling locations will be available.
Okay, all right. So many, many different options to vote.
That's true. Yes.
With the mail-in ballots, Nikki, is there a deadline to return those applications in order to get your ballot in the mail?
Yes, there is. It is, I believe it's Friday the 26th.
Okay,
I will definitely put all this information for you, and I will give it to you so that you can put it on your site. I will certainly put it on the City of Quincy election site. I will ask the mayor's office representatives to put it on the front page for a quick click into the important dates that are coming up. I will also probably be doing a show with Mark Crosby in the near future, and also it'll be on the Secretary of State's website.
right. Now the mail-in ballot applications, were those sent to all registered voters or how did that work?
Yeah, they were sent to all registered voters, and we're getting them back. Oh, and just a quick note, we will also have the drop box here at City Hall. I know people like to come up and drop it off themselves, and so we do have that available after Wednesday.
Okay, okay. And again, this is all just for the primary, right? Not the
This is
final.
just for the primary,
Okay, okay,
and we'll do all the same for the November election, but we're going to have 2 weeks of early voting. as
oh,
opposed
okay.
to one.
Okay, and then there'll be another application if people want to mail in for the November
And you
election.
can we have a link also if you misplaced your card. We also have a link on our website. There's a link on Secretary's website to download an early voting application
Okay,
or an absentee ballot application.
okay. Now if someone does not want a mail-in ballot, do they just don't fill that out and turn it in, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Right.
because you can't do both.
Right.
Okay. Phew,
Uh,
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So now the deadline to register to vote, you mentioned is August 26th,
27th,
27th.
Saturday.
Okay,
And you can register here at City Hall. City Hall will be open from 8:30 to 5.
okay,
That's a change too, because the last day to register to vote was always 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. But
right.
they've shortened the hours,
Okay,
but they made it on a Saturday.
okay.
Okay.
And that's just to register to vote in the primary.
Well, to register to vote for all elections.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You can register for all elections. Once you're registered, you're in.
gotcha.
And you can certainly call our office and we can help with that. We can look you up, make sure that you're at the correct address, let you know what your party is. And if you do wish to go to the polls, we can tell you which polling place you go to. And you can call 617-376-1141 or 42.
All righty. Thank you so much, Nikki. A lot going on.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Have a good rest of the summer. We'll catch up after the 16th, if that's okay.
You bet. Thank you.